You were part of a cult film called Jani Dushman. Your thoughts on Jani Dushman?
Oh,
Did you or did you not know that Kajol was a murderer in Gupt? And when did you get to know that? You've also spoken about the fact about your journey into how you started getting into alcohol.
not really realizing that it would actually put my life upside down.
I'm here with Manisha Koirala. She's one of my favorite actresses, and we are here for her book launch, which she's written on her journey about cancer called Healed. Manisha ji, I was reading about many interviews which you've done and you've spoken about it. You said that while writing the book, there were also times when you didn't want to continue finishing it because there were some sort of conflicting emotions which you were feeling. So, what exactly happened at that point of time?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me here. This writing of this book has been a bit roller coaster ride, like my life, and it's not an easy book because it is in detailed out of my traumatic experience. And the reason I wrote this book is so that people could get a first hand experience, and for that I really needed to be authentic. I really needed to sit with my pain. I really needed to confront everything, and that wasn't easy. So while I started with good intention and finished it eventually, but the in between journey has been pretty like a roller coaster. And so the mood swings, the stress level high, and I've had two other people, friends who coming in helping me out, and our equation became strenuous. And in between, before Neelam Kumar eventually came and finished the book, I had given up, and I had decided that okay, I don't think I can.
And
do this.
these are the things which most people don't talk about. Like, because there are so many books which are coming out, like, oh, book likh di. It's like, you just sat and it went very smoothly. But these are the things which people don't talk about, which is why I wanted to obviously ask you about it.
Yeah, I would want to say that there were many drafts of the book, many drafts. First draft was terrible, and then I worked on it. I would give it to my friends, and they would give this thing. I would make my parents like guinea pigs and make them not move, sit there for hours and read out loudly to them, and I could see in their faces that they were bored. But the thing is, I really want to do it right, and I really wanted to. So it went through from very bad first draft to slightly better than what it is now after many revision,
Right.
and a lot of roadblocks and a lot of potholes.
Like you said, yeah. But how has I mean, I'm sure you must have been asked this question, and you will be asked this question tons of times again, which is why I really admire your patience. But how has cancer, the experience of cancer, changed you or changed your perspective, changed you as a person maybe?
Yeah, it's changed me completely. It's really shook me out of my comfort zone and complacent space, and made me, it's a death realizing that you will be dead someday is a huge thing for any human being. And it's so common that we see people dying, people falling sick, but we never really actually take it in ourselves. We never actually be able to comprehend it till something as dreaded as cancer happens, and then I was completely shaken out. And so realizing that your time is limited, that you come here for a certain time and you'll be gone after that, made me value the time, made me value the life that I have, made me value my health. I was spending such amount of money, and I was having so much of pain and struggle to become healthy, and had put my family My family was in so much of pain and agony. Seeing all that, and then I was thinking, oh my God, I never valued my health before. And when you're sick, you really realize how important health is. So many things changed. I started valuing my life, I started valuing my health, I started valuing my relationships, I started realizing that whatever I get in this life, I'm gonna just be grateful. I'm gonna do my best in whatever I take on. And then I move from project to project, just not basically carrying stuff and just enjoying, be in the moment, be in the present, being lighthearted, at the same time be committed, you know, and enjoy this process of life, and to live a fulfilled life, so that tomorrow when the death knocks at my door, I shouldn't regret saying that I didn't utilize it well.
Right. So is this going to be your first and last book, or are there plans to write more books?
No,
or you're going to become a full-time author now?
I really, no matter how bad, how tough it was for me, I do intend to write many books. And I have already have 2 subjects in my head already, and I've started sharing it to my close friends, and to check this out and tell me what you think, this is what I'm thinking, and so I'm quite kicked about writing the book, and so hopefully this year or next year I will work on it.
Right. Now, in your book, you've been very open about your life, right? You've written about a lot of things.
Right.
And even in the interviews which you've been giving, and that becomes very difficult to bear yourself out to people. One is, you've written that you were unlucky in love. That is one thing which you've written, which, by the way, many of us are. Okay? Yeah. Let's just be very clear about that. We keep asking the celebrities all these things, but like there are so many things going on in our own life. So one is that, right? So would you be open for any kind of relationship right now, or like whatever, we'll see it how it comes?
Basically,
because Indian society बहुत pressure डालता है, ना?
Yeah, it's just that I'll be very careful. I'll be very careful of what kind of energy I'm inviting into my life, and whether it's going to be helpful for me, whether it's going to make me enjoy my life more, whether it's going to be, it'll help me to evolve as a better human being. All those things are really important. And if I sense कि ये कुछ ज़्यादा hard work है, then I rather be in my own space and do what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another, I would term it as a sort of a sensitive question. So that's up to you if you want to answer it. But you've also spoken about the fact about your journey into how you started getting into alcohol. Like you were on the sets and it used to become very boring, or there were long timings, or to open up at parties. So how did that happen?
Yeah, basically, it seeps into you, and it seeped into my life, not really realizing that it would actually put my life upside down. And before it was, it's just the reason I have actually written this book earnestly and honestly, and taken a chance of being judged and, probably hated or ridiculed, I don't know, is because I feel that I need to share my lessons. I need to share, and if it's being tough, let it be tough. Because I want people to realize, it's not really a great ending. It's not really a great path. And we start it to thinking that it's helping, but that's really not the solution. And even in relationships, or with alcohol, or with anything, I feel we need to be master of situation, not become the victim of the thing. So if some people drink, like my friends and all drink, my family, my dad sometimes drinks, or somebody, I'm perfectly fine, because they are managing it. It's not like a total taboo. Don't do it. Do it as long as you are master of it.
Right.
But be really aware. You don't know when it's going to flip and it's you go on a downhill journey.
Depending from person to person.
Yeah, people
exactly.
to people.
Exactly.
just being mindful and just being always on top of your life, rather than being on a victim mode, and rather than, because it's always a choice, you know. And it could be anything. Some people would slip into it with pressure, sheer pressure. Some people have a heartbreak and it could get into that.
Yeah.
So many things. And
But Bollywood तो heartbreak is like breakup हो गया तो हाँ उस पे एक picture बना देते हैं. But anyways, over to you. Yeah.
So basically, yeah, it's a high emotion, high drama packed life, I guess. Creative people are more emotionally charged, and I'm super sensitive. So I guess all that. But the reason I've said is so that it's out there for people to see. Plus, it's also for me is kind of a closure.
Right.
That this happened with me, chapter ends, moving on.
Okay, okay. Now you have to rush for an event, so I'm going to ask you in the end 3 rapid fire questions, or so-called rapid fire questions, okay, taking from Karan Johar ji. So first of all, did you or did you not know that Kajol was the murderer in Gupt? And when did you get to know that? I've been meaning to ask you this for the last 20 years.
In the beginning itself, we are an actors. We already know our roles.
So my point is you should have told Bobby. But anyways, moving on from that, you were part of a cult film called Jani Dushman. Your thoughts on Jani Dushman?
Oh. Okay.
She's never going to talk to me again.
No.
It's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. Yeah, yeah. She's just laughing. Okay. I'll wait.
The memory of it is, it's a great, the whole industry was in it, and
yeah, actually, everybody was it. Yeah,
Nagina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, fun.
Beautiful, very smartly answered, I must say. And last question, Ilu ka matlab?
I love you.
Perfect. Okay, Manisha ji, you've been absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
And
Thank
all
you.
the best for your book.
Thank you so
much.
much.
And everything else. Thank you.
Thanks.